Hey guys, I'm Derek, the maker behind Rhoads Pc, and I've been contacted by Alexander PCs to work on a custom PC case for them for one of their upcoming themed builds. I've chosen to go with the warrior theme, specifically Viking theme, because that's something I've always wanted to do, and they gave me a free creative kind of reach to make whatever I wanted to, as long as it fits within the warrior kind of vibe. So the rough sketch I've drawn up is something like this. My sketches always start a little vague, but it gives me the idea that I want the shield, as the focal point of the design with the axes, and then the motherboard tray and the radiator bracket kind of integrated. Hey guys, so working on this project for Alexander PCs, it's a custom case that it's going to have some Viking elements integrated, and among that is the shield. So I think what I'll do is show you guys kind of the process of how to make the shield on VCarve and the CNC. Because it's a nice piece and it's not too complicated, but we can go over how it'll come together. So I've made the shield here in VCarve, and I've set up my material. So my material is set to be 24 inches wide by 24 inches tall and 3/4 of an inch thick. And the first cut I'm going to do is the profile cut. So that's the outside edge. So what you have to do for that is build a toolpath. So I've selected a 2D toolpath. I've told it it's going to be cutting 3/4 of an inch deep. The bit I'm going to be using is a 1/4 inch Endmill, and I want it to make 6 passes. From there you can choose if you want it to be on the line, inside the line, or outside the line. And this helps with things like hole tolerances or cutouts and where it'll line up. I'm going to use tabs to hold my cutout to the material while the CNC is still working. And these are important because if you don't do this, essentially when you cut out the profile of the shield, if your clamps are in the corners of your stock, the shield will be loose and it could go flying or damage your tool or hurt you. So I suggest always using tabs or some painter's tape with C8 glue on the back, or double-sided tape or other ways to hold it down so that when the profile cut is completed, the shield's going to stay where it is. And then we can calculate that toolpath. In a VCarve, it brings us to a simulation. You always want to run your simulation. So I have my profile cut selected. I'll preview the selected toolpath, and it shows me exactly what's going to happen. So what's important here is we go through the stock and the tabs show up. And from here, I'm happy with that. I would save our toolpath. Good. Now, so that's VCarve. Now when we want to actually do the cut, we open up UC CNC. I'll load the file that we want to cut, which is my shield profile cut with 1/4 inch Endmill, and it shows up. The next part will be to move my machine down to 0 and get it calibrated to make this cut. Okay, so the wood I want to cut is loaded onto my CNC and clamped down, and I used a bit of painter's tape on both sides of what I'm working on and the wasteboard, and a bit of C8 glue to hold it steady. Now what we want to do is change to the bit we're going to use for the cut. For that I have a 1/4 inch Endmill, and to fit my 1/4 inch Endmill I'm going to need a 1/4 inch collet. What I have loaded here is just an 1/8 inch drill bit and a smaller collet. So I'll switch those to what I need now. Okay, we have the bit we need loaded. Last thing to do is set our Z height, and then we're ready to cut. And to do that, my CNC uses a Z stop. Okay guys, so the shield's done. What do you think? I think it turned out pretty good. I did have a couple challenges along the way. The first iteration of the shield, I actually painted this board, and this bottom board blue, which I liked, but it ended up looking a little bit unrefined. It didn't look as nice as I was hoping it would look. So I hope you enjoyed the footage that I captured along the way. Going over it again, this started as a 3/4 inch piece of maple, designed in 3D Fusion, moved over to VCarve, from VCarve to UC CNC, and then on my CNC, it was the 3 tool paths, the profile, the pocket, and then the 3D milling. From the CNC, I took it over and I painted it. I stained it, painted it, kind of worked in some details. I did a bit of airbrushing for the logo. And yeah, I really like it. I actually posted these up on my Etsy. I think I mentioned that before, but I'm gonna do 4 different sizes, 14, 16, 18 inch. This one's 18 inch and 20 inch. And see if we can't get a little more creative with the designs. I think if I was to use this as a prop on the back, I would add a handle and the leather strap that holds your arm. But this one is due for a computer case. So keep your eye on the channel if you want to, and if you're enjoying it, or check out Alexander PCs on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram to see where this ends up, because this is actually going into a computer case for them to do a build with their warrior theme. Yeah, it's awesome. Okay, thank you. Have fun.